it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Today I have got a twist on the classic garage suite. Just realised my catalogue's the other side of the room. That's better. Excuse me. As ever, interesting start. So, Classic Garage, page 42 in your Spring Summer catalogue. This is basically a kit aimed at men. But, you know, why do we think that men are the only people that would want to have a car, motor, garage orientated project? Because lots of women like cars. So why shouldn't we have some car projects? I was just checking there wasn't anything over the page that was, oh yes, that then definitely, well, I say definitely. Not sure that there are that many female anglers. I know there are some, but horses, absolutely. So, I've taken a bit of a twist on the Classic Garage suite. Now, let's start with what's included in the suite. So we have the lovely geared up stamp set, the amazing, what are they called, Garage Gears Thinlets. I've got a couple, well, one off, no, two off. So this is the absolute pièce de résistance, and then we've got a couple of others to use, which we will be using in the project, which is why they're not stuck down. Now, here's the thing. So, some of these dies actually cut out the patterns on the paper. So this cuts out the oil can, which is on one of the papers. There's a car, which I will show you in a minute. So there's a toolbox. This toolbox is cut out with that die. The You Jumpstart My Heart, you can cut out with that, but you can cut it out with something else as well, which we will be coming on to. And the Happy Father's Day is also one that is cut out. And these are on the paper as well as on the stamps. So let me actually show you the papers, because I think that's always a good place to start. Actually, the Happy Father's Day isn't, and the shape isn't. But let me show you the papers. This is actually more than one set, because I had some extras and squeezed them in. So this is a set. So we have got lots of tools. The colours, just so you know, and I'm going to go off piste on the colours, but basic black, basic grey, crushed curry, pumpkin pie, real red, tranquil tide, very vanilla, and whisper white. I do like colours that include, or pattern paper that includes whisper white and very vanilla. I think it just gives an extra dimension. So the reverses tend to be plain, but with a sort of grungy feel. So this has got some skid marks on it. Then we've got a tranquil tide with bolts on the back. This is one of the ones that cuts out from the dies. So lots of oil cans and a black background, keys and engines and engine parts. Now these cut out with the die. Let me just grab the big die. These will, if you get them the right way up, that way up. So these will actually cut out with the die. So if you want to be cutting these out, and you can get 3 full ones out of a sheet of the big ones, and also the little ones you can die cut using the smaller cogs, because we've got smaller cogs here. So this 3 is this 3 here, etc, etc. So you can look as if you're fussy cutting. Then a plane on the back, a map, which is always useful for all sorts of things, holidays and that sort of thing. Motorbikes on the back, so don't just think cars. There isn't a die for this, but it's not too difficult to fussy cut, I guess. Some road signage. It's probably more Northern America than Europe, but it's road signage. And then a pattern, and cars. That this car will be cut out with a die. The others definitely are easy fussy cuts. So that's those. I'm just wondering. No, I was just wondering if you could use the die back to front on that, but I don't think you can. Wheels and another background, dials and another background, and so steering wheels, road wheels and skid marks. So those are the papers. Now, as I say, the colours are theoretically pumpkin pie, love, real red, tranquil tide, crushed curry, black, grey, vanilla and white. But I have a theory that you can actually push the envelope a wee bit. So I have gone Grapefruit Grove and Lovely Lipstick. I accept that I haven't used much of the background paper, but this oil can, that is definitely real red, but this, I think, is nearer to Lovely Lipstick, and that's what I've used for the stamping. And some of the background papers, which of course I've now put away, I think you can push into Grapefruit Grove. So this, for example, because of the way it's been softened, I think you can get away with Grapefruit Grove. So I've used the Grapefruit Grove foil that is in the sale-a-bration catalogue, which comes along with the Lovely Lipstick foil. So I have used that and Lovely Lipstick, and I've used the Grapefruit Grove Organdy ribbon, which is also in the sale-a-bration catalogue. So that's my theory, and I'm going to continue with that theory. So I have already die cut my cog, and I've stuck the dimensionals on the back, because that does take a wee while. It cuts really well, but getting all the little bits out is a bit fussy, and sticking all the dimensionals on is a bit fussy. I have also die cut my car, so that just pops out, but we are going to do some stamping and some more die cutting. So let me get rid of that one whilst we build the other one. So I'm going to need that. I need a piece of Whisper White. I need my You Jumpstart My Heart die stamp. Good grief. Obviously my brain is not working terribly well this morning. So just stamp that straight down. Now I only need the middle bit of the die, so I'm not too worried if it is not in the right place. I'm going to bring in my very dirty, well it's not dirty, it's stained, chamois. I love my chamois. I like my Stampin' Scrub, but I really like my chamois. So I'm actually going to use this die, but you could use this die, which does go behind, but I didn't want to run the risk of any of the white showing through. So I've gone with this one, and I will just die cut that off screen. And I've done the same die. Oops, that's jumped. I've done the same die in the black foil, which carried over from the Autumn Winter catalogue. I'm using my magnetic base plate, which is normally okay, but for some reason it's decided it wants to jump. Right, that's fine. Okay. Right. So there we are, that's that bit done. So I've done the same die in the black foil. So there is a whole list of what's carried over. If you go over to my online store, you will see a list of what has carried over from Autumn Winter. I did go through it. I did do a video on what's carried over and a blog post, so it may be worth having a look at that. Now I've got a piece of edge of dimensional, and I'm just going to use that to help stick all of that together. Just need to trim that off a wee bit. go. So that helps stick it together. And then if I grab some of my mini dimensionals, which, as you can see, I use a lot of those, and I can just help stick the two bits together there. If you use the larger die, there is a possibility, well, a distinct possibility, that you're going to see the card behind. I mean, it's almost meant, but I didn't want the white to show through, so that's why I didn't use it. And dare I say, it's my project, so it's allowed. Right, okay. Grapefruit Grove. And this is a half piece of A4, just scored down the middle to make a standard A6 card. I will also need an inner, because writing on Grapefruit Grove is not impossible, but it's not ideal. Needless to say, all the dimensions will be on my blog, which is in the description bar below. There's a link straight to that, so do have a look at that. I'm just going to stick a large dimensional right at the very end of my car, about as far as it will go. I have already cut from the steering wheels a piece of Designer Series paper, and this is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. Actually, I'm going to put my adhesive on my card. I think it's easier to put the adhesive onto what you're sticking to, so that you're not waving something sticky in the air. It's fine with the liquid adhesive because that's going to give you some wiggle room, but I do find that when I'm sticking with snail, it's easier that way. Right, okay, are we ready for taking bits off? Now, I dropped this on the floor, but it's actually therefore quite useful for taking the backs off dimensionals, because it's got this little hook now. You can do it with a straight pick as well. You can actually do it with your fingernail, but for sometimes, if they're being a bit naughty, I just grab my beautifully bent piercing tool. I do have 2 straight piercing tools as well, but I do keep my beautifully bent piercing tool just in case. There we go. Right, so actually I'm going to put it, whoops, backing, I'm going to put it that way up. And then this, I'm going to, that just fits nicely across, and you just, the die cut, the foil die cut will support the middle, and then you've just got the 2 large dimensionals at the end. Then we're going to pop this down here, and on my original I had this slightly further over, but it's fine. So this is going to come down here. So we'll take the backings off here. And now there's lots of wonderful promotions during sale-a-bration. Sale-a-bration lasts until the 31st of March. All the details of all of the promotions are on my blog, so do go and have a look at that. But basically you're going to get free stuff pretty much whatever you do, so it's really worth having a look at that. I'm just going to tie my bow. This is one of the 5 colours of organdy ribbon that you can get in sale-a-bration. It comes in the colours which go with the Gingham Gala paper, so that's Daffodil Delight, Balmy Blue, Highland Heather, Grapefruit Grove, and Lemon Lime Twist. Knew there was a green, couldn't remember which one it was. So just get that so that it's a nice neat little bow. Lovely. Trim my ends. Now I like my ends to be slightly longer than my bow loops. If you cut them short, it just looks a bit odd. So grab a glue dot, and this is where my bent piercing tool works really nicely. Pop that down there, and then grab my bow and pop that on top. And that is the outside of our card, but I have done a liner. I've got a tatty piece of paper here where you can see I've already done some stamping. So grab my lovely lipstick ink pad again, and I'm going to stamp off first. Yeah, that's better. So stamp off, and then just down in the bottom corner just stamp, and that just helps bring the lovely lipstick from the front to the inside of the card, which, I don't know, I just think it makes the whole thing look a little more mint. So this time I am going to put my adhesive on the back of this, purely because if you're trying to stick something into something you have already folded, that can be interesting. If I'd have put glue here and then let go, I could have ended up sticking my card together, which is not a good idea. So there we go. Two female versions of Classic Garage. I hope you enjoyed that. Please, please do not think male equals just men's cards, just because it's traditionally male. For those of you who remember Janet and John, and I am going back to the 50s and 60s, it was always Janet is in the kitchen with Mother making the dinner, and John is outside in the garage playing with the car with Daddy. No. I have taken engines to pieces. I like a good car. Hey ho, that's enough of me. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you've got any questions or comments, there's a place to comment below if you would like to be in contact. My email address and all my contact details are over on my blog, which, as I've already said, is in the description bar below. So anything you've got any questions about, please do drop me a line. If it's around joining my team or how sale-a-bration works, then do please be in touch. And do remember that my team can spread across not only the UK, where I have got people in Wales, Scotland, England. I don't have anyone in Northern Ireland yet, but the three countries on what is considered mainland Britain, so Scotland, Wales, England, I've got covered. So if you are in France, Germany, the Netherlands or Austria, absolutely, you are very welcome to join my team. We do most of our team meetings via Facebook Live, so you certainly wouldn't miss out on any team meetings just by being more remote. As I say, because my team are spread across the country, we do go down the virtual team meetings rather than face-to-face. I do face-to-face team meetings as well, and you can also come to team meetings that are for the wider team that I'm a member of, and those again are across the country. And of course there is always On Stage. If you join before the 15th of January, you would be able to register on the 15th for On Stage. And I say on the 15th because it tends to get filled up fairly quickly. On one day it did fill up, I think, by lunchtime. So if you would like to come to one of our amazing half-yearly Stamping Up conventions, please, please, please do not hesitate about joining up. Join up now, then you can register on the 15th to come to On Stage, which is in Telford, so just north of Birmingham, so really nice and central, and it will be a full day of playing with stuff from the new annual catalogue. You will get to not only play with new stuff from the annual catalogue, you will get to have new stuff from the annual catalogue. You'll see lots of inspiration, and it's a great way to meet lots of other demonstrators as well, and just see what a great group of people are involved in being part of the Stamping Up family. Thank you very much indeed. I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Do remember, if you don't already subscribe, bottom right hand corner, you will find a subscribe button, and if you go over to my blog you will find subscriptions to my newsletter and to my blog, so you can do that there. Thank you very much indeed, and I will see you again soon. Bye!